Hey, everybody, I got a question. Are you a small business owner or do you work for a small business? Do you have an email newsletter? I guess that's two questions. Well, if you don't have an email newsletter, I wanted to show you how you can have one and how it can be effective. Because as a small business owner, I've read all these books, I've read all this training. And if you want to have a customer base, you should reach out to that customer base once every 21 days or so. So you keep your name in front of them. And one of the best ways to do that is a tip of the day, the latest product and that you have, or if you're having a sale, or if you get questions from your customers. Hey, I had the question of the month. So you can use a lot of different things, or if you run a blog, you wanted to send an email newsletter with a bunch of different blog posts. I'm going to show you how you can do that. And when I started doing real estate as a real estate investor, I was building a cash buyers list so I could email out properties. As the owner of MAREI, I was just building up anybody that had an interest in MAREI so that I could get them to come to meetings and learn more with me. And so I've used a lot of different services over the years. I started out with Constant Contact. I went and tried a couple other things. I always came back to Constant Contact, and I like it because it just keeps growing as the internet changes, as technology changes. Constant Contact is changing, and MAREI has a great trial for you. You don't have to have a credit card. You can just log in, set up your trial, and play with it. And it's constant. Let's try giving you the right link. MAREI, MAREI.org/constant contact. And I'll put that link right here on the screen. But let me share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. So let's go to, and this is my login screen for Constant Contact. So I'm going to click login, and it will remember this. And the reason why I really like Constant Contact, most email services will not let you import a list. There's a couple, but Constant Contact will let you import your spreadsheet list. Let me give you one word of advice. If you import a spreadsheet of email addresses, make sure it is a clean list. So I had taken and moved everything from Constant Contact to something else, and the list wasn't the cleanest. And when I didn't like the something else, I came back to Constant Contact and imported that list. And when I sent it out, I had more bounced emails than a new email service account should have. So they locked my account and I couldn't use it. So when I went back to them, I called, hey, I used you. This is a list that I exported from you a few years back or a few weeks ago, and I'm just coming back. The other thing they don't like are listserv email addresses. So if you have a lot of info at emails or admin at emails, it doesn't like those. So if you pull up a list that's got a lot of those, or you have a listserv. So you have like an email address that when you send to that email address, then forwards it on to everybody that's associated through the list service. It doesn't like that. So if you have too many of those in your list, so make sure you have a clean list. It'll also let you build your list. So what are lists? Let's go to contacts, so you can see what I'm talking about with lists. I use this for several different companies. So I have lists for each company. I have emails, so I can go to lists. So here's all my lists. I have different lists. And what do these stars mean? So I have a way that people can sign up to get on my list on the MAREI website. So if you go to marei.org, somewhere on there is, fill in your email address and you can sign up. You could do a text to sign up. But what lists do I want to let people select? And these are lists that I've designated or should be on that list. But I can also create my own list. So if I have, the latest group of MAREI members and I want to send just MAREI members, or I wanted to send, so John Hire, we had a John Hire event and these were all the people that signed up to get the bonuses. This was the bonus I sent out. MAREI business members. I was sending people an invite to a specific class. So that's what all these different lists are. You can create them and import people to one list, all lists. And so, you can divide out your email. So for example, I have one that's a cash buyers list. I have one that's just realtors. I have one that are just MAREI members. So whatever you need to divide out for you, that way you can send a specific message to that specific list. And how do you get contacts in here? Well, with contacts here, you can add contacts in several ways. You can create a new contact, adding them in one at a time. Just typing it in. You can paste in several. So it's a form where you just paste in a bunch. What I normally use is an Excel file and I upload the file. So that is what I do. And then I also use Investor Carrot. So as a real estate investor, I have an Investor Carrot website and people sign up to be on my buyers list and it integrates. So when they sign up to be on my buyers list, it goes to Carrot, but Carrot automatically puts all my new investor buyers in here. So I don't have to manually go export everything out of Carrot and import it into Constant Contact. It already integrates and you can see what services you use. I can also use sign-up forms on my website. I can also connect it to my Facebook so that, I want to get more members. I could do lead ads. So I could put an ad on Facebook, click here to get on my list. You can also make a flyer that's text to join, and you would have to get in here and learn how to do it. They have great help videos to get you started. Or if you just don't want to do it, they also have people you can hire that'll do all of it for you. You can also go on a lot of different virtual assistants websites like Upwork. You could hire virtual assistants that is an expert in Constant Contact. So that's how you can get people into your lists. One of the best ways to add lists, I think, is using a sign-up form, and you can create an autoresponder. So for example, if I go to Rent Perfect, this is one of our vendors that we use. Now, I don't know if they use Constant Contact, but they have a good example of what I'm talking about. They give away a free ebook on their website. Where is it? Right here. So they give this ebook away. And so I could connect this to Constant Contact. The person enters their name, their phone number, and their email, and download the free ebook. That puts them into my Constant Contact on the free ebook list, and Constant Contact will automatically send out that ebook. So that is something you could do. If you had the top 10 tips for whatever it is that you do, or you're sending out a free coupon, for the first customer, you get 20% off, or you get $200 off, or you have a free form, free document, a free consultation, you could send it out this way and get them into your list. So let's go back to Constant Contact, get the right page here. And that's how we can get all of our contacts in. Usually I get a lot of people uploading from a file. So everybody that comes to the MAREI meeting that connects to us through the website, about once a week, we export all the new contacts from our membership software, which I can send emails in there, and I'll tell you why I don't use it here in a minute, but then I can upload them from Excel into here. Before we had Carrot integrating, I could export all of my new contacts from Investor Carrot and import them in here. One of the main reasons I really like Constant Contact to send mass emails. So I know some of you are like, oh, I just send my email. I just write an email and I send it to everybody. It's blind carbon copy through Gmail or through Outlook or through Yahoo or whatever it is that you use. But here's why I don't like that. First of all, most of those services will only let you send 100 emails at a time. So if you're under 100 emails, I would say if you're under 50, you're good. But you can't build your list very easily using Gmail because it's all manual. You can build your list through Constant Contact using the tools it provides. But once you get over 100 emails, or really over 50, they won't let it send out. And here's the other problem. While your service won't let you send over 100 emails in an hour, when you send out an email that has a lot of email addresses on it, even if it's on a blind carbon copy, the receiving email service won't let it in. So early on, when I was trying to send mass emails, AOL hated me. None of my AOL subscribers were getting emails. None of my subscribers that had a @sprint.com email would get anything. Nobody from hallmark.com would get anything because I was doing mass emails and their system would block it as spam. When you use Constant Contact, it's still going to get blocked as spam, but not as much. So it just works, it gets my emails delivered better. The other thing that I like is while, I mean, I use REI Black Book, I use Carrot, I've used RealFlow, and they all have an email system, but I can't touch, see, feel, and make sure that email goes out when I want to send out a mass email. If you want to use those services, they work great for one-offs, they work great for autoresponders. But when I want to send a lot of emails at once, I just want to get on there and send it. Or let's, for example, we had an advocacy issue that I needed to send out last week. I just wanted to jump on, create my email, and send it to 8,000 people. This was the way to do it. I didn't have to worry about it. I know it's going to go, and I know it's going to get in the most inboxes. It's got a lot of other tools, so I'll show you how to do that as well. It will also track your unsubscribed. So if people say, take me off your list, they just have to click unsubscribe and it will automatically take them on. But how can people get on your list? Well, like I talked about, a sign-up form on your website. You could create a landing page. You can put it through Facebook, text to join. So that gives you a little bit more update. All right, so we've got our lists. Now we want to send them something. So we're going to go to campaigns. And you can do simple, easy things like, well, there's a lot of stuff here. So you got folders. You can sort all your stuff to folders. You can create campaigns. So these automations, show you what that is. Those are an automation campaign. Let's see. So for example, KC Invest Cash Buyers. This is anybody that signs up to be a cash buyer. They get, using the magic tools in here, and you'll have to learn how to do it. But when they, let's see if I can click manage it, see what you see here. When they sign up, it gets, they get 2 emails. They get one immediately after, and then they get one a day later. What's another automation campaign? So every time somebody signs up for that list, those emails go out in series. New users. So if I have new users that I put in here, they're excuse me, they're new to MAREI. They get a series of 4 emails from me. Ideally, when I was learning, you know, you should reach out to your customers and touch them every 21 days. But when you first meet somebody, it takes 8 contacts for them to remember who you are. So ideally, you find 8 ways to connect with them. I'm using 4 through email. The other is probably going to be through social media. So let's go to contacts. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong button. Let's go to campaigns. We want to send a campaign. So here we are in campaigns. Well, it's in contacts. It didn't go to campaigns. Let's try that one more time. I will tell you that sometimes constant contact gets glitchy. I don't know that it's constant contact. It might be the email or your internet provider. But every once in a while, when it's really glitchy, I just log off and log back on. That usually solves the problem. Or sometimes I will just leave and come back later. Usually it used to happen a lot more often when I was on a more unreliable internet service, but now that I am on Google Fiber, I very rarely, if ever, have any issues. So I want to create a campaign. We've looked at automation. You can create a survey, you could create landing pages, but let's just create a campaign. So what is a campaign? It could be an email, a series of emails, social media posts, ads, events, a survey, a landing page, website. I don't even know what to do with websites, but let's just go create an email. And I primarily use these 2 right here. Let's preview this one. It says coronavirus update, but it's just a basic email. So what can I do with this? Let's just select it. It'll show you what it looks like on a desktop, what it'll look like on a mobile device. That makes it skinnier. I'm going to select this template. You can give it a name or leave it untitled. I'm just going to leave it untitled. You can change the message. So a message about coronavirus. I'm going to say a simple email for you. I can personalize it with their first name. And then I can give it an emoji if I want to. What else we got? Food and drink. Just objects. I can do a little t-shirt there. You can put a pre-header Usually I don't put that in there, but if you want to, who is it from, what email address, and you can, we have set up a bunch of emails. So depending on who's sending the email, they can pull in their email address and where we want, if they wanted to respond to that email, where do we want that to go? So we can set all that up and then save it. We can also change our images, so we can edit an image. And how do we change it? I can pick any image here. So let's say I want to put in the MAREI logo. That's one of the oldest things in here. So I'm going to go way back when to the oldest emails and see if I can find the MAREI logo. Let's see here. I could also search by logo. Let's see what we get. Well, let's be KC Invest. I'm going to be that person. So I could put my logo in there. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I can put a deer. So that's what's already in there. I could insert a greeting tag, hello or dear and greetings. So if you're having them sign up and you know their first name, we could say, hello, Bob, whatever their first name is. We can add our texts. We can put in a sincerely. Let's say we want to add an image in here. So we can add a photo. So it's very simple, drag and drop. Okay, here was one of those glitchy things. I just saved the email, reopened it, and now when I click on the picture and hit replace, it opens. I don't know. So I'm going to go to my library of pictures that I have uploaded. I have thousands of pictures that I have uploaded over the years, and we could put in anything that we would like. I'm going to put in this lovely sunset picture from the Lake of the Ozarks. It's a little fuzzy because it was through a screen, but hey, it's a picture. So I can put that in there. That's done. We can edit anything that we would like if we want to make that a link. So that's a link right now because it's blue. I can click on this little chain link and edit that and link it to wherever I would like to. So let's say we want to link it to the MAREI website. This is how I do it. I go pull up the website I want to link to. Then I right click on there, I copy it, and then I go back and I paste it. And that gives me the exact link. I know it'll work. If I wanted to make that link a different color, I like orange, so I make all my links orange. You can edit your text. So that's how you can create an email. You can change things. You can even change for here, this is social media. I can edit that Facebook goes to my Facebook page or my Twitter page or my Instagram page. You can also add a whole bunch of other social media icons in there. And then you can have your main email address. This is set up for MAREI, but when I send this from one of my other companies, I will change that. And that will create my email. I can check and preview it. Kind of gives you a preview here on the screen. Or you can test it. You can send test to you. You can check for errors. It'll look for misspellings and things that it doesn't think that's right. You can save it and come back later. But we're just going to go ahead and continue. We're going to assume everything is right. We're going to hit continue. And then it's going to ask me, who do I want to send it to? And when do I want to send it? So I could pick any one of my lists or more. I'm going to send it to test, which is me, my test email. And I want to send it now. I could schedule it for later. And I could have it send me early results. So it would send me an email saying, hey, these are who have read it or who has not read it, who clicked on it. And I can also say, if I send this email out right now or whenever I schedule it, I want to resend it. And right now it's August 18th at 11:29. I could say I want to send this again on August 21st to anybody that forgot to open my email and read it. It comes out as a reminder. And you can hit confirm. You can test and make sure everything is what you want it to say. You can click send now, or you could say schedule now if it was scheduled for later. And it will send it out right now. And if you schedule it for later, it would send it out at the time you designated. And I have never had this not work, except for when I forget to hit save. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, why? Wait, that email should have came across today. And then I go back and say, oh, I created the email. I put the schedule in, but I never saved it. So what's really neat is if you wanted to send this one off to somebody from Gmail, here is the link. It creates a web page for that email, but because it hasn't completely sent yet, it's not quite there. We can also post our content on social media, and you can do this right now after sending, or you can come back to campaigns 3 days later and go, you know, I didn't get enough response on that email. Let's boost my response. So let's go back to that email I sent the other day, and it says active because it's currently sending right now. Then we can expand our campaign, and we can come back later and we can send it to social media. You can connect your social media to, or your email service here to your Facebook. You can send it to your personal Facebook, and I believe you can connect it to your personal page. So if you have a business page set up, you can connect it that way. You can connect it to Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So let's say we want to go ahead and share it now. I only right now have Twitter set up. I don't use this a lot, but it's a really great way to, expand your reach. We can pick my Twitter profile, and it will create a post based on what it pulls out of the email, but you can always change that. So let's say I don't like that picture. I want a different picture. I can come in here and I can go to anything that I have already uploaded. I can sort my pictures into folders. I'm not good about doing that. I can go to Canva, which is a free service to create an image. I can use the stock image gallery. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, or I could upload anything. And I'm just going to use my lovely snowman here because I want to. So there, it added my snowman. I can change my message. So let's say instead of whatever I sent, I had an invite to a holiday party. Goes with a snowman. On December 18th. This is a test post. I have to remember to go take that off. This will link to that email, and I can schedule that post. Schedule this for 11:34 a.m., which is in a future time, and we're going to schedule it. There it's scheduled, and it will come out on my Twitter feed shortly. Another campaign. So let's go back to campaigns. We'll go to Twitter in a minute and see what that looks like, but let's go back to campaigns and create new. An email. Just kind of wanted to show you all the templates that are already there. There are hundreds and hundreds of templates that you can choose from. So you can pick one that's, they're really good about holidays. You can also just go in and pick one that you like because it looks really cool. This is Labor Day special, so I could preview that. Maybe you have Labor Day specials on windows. You could put in your different windows that you have. You could change out, window sale. You could change out logos. You could change out this picture and put in your logo or whatever. You could go in and play with it. And if you have a good assistant that's really good at being creative, that is helpful too. But there's just tons of templates that you can pick from. And if you're not running it on Zoom, usually it works really well. So let's go to Twitter real quick. Alrighty, folks, here we are. Hopefully this is working. This is the third try at showing you what happens on Twitter once a Constant Contact sends the message to social media. We've been having fun today. So I am going to scroll down, and there is the test post that it created for us. So it went to, we created the email, we sent out the email, and then we use the social media tool within Constant Contact to push that out to our Twitter feed. We could also send it to Facebook, to LinkedIn, and to Instagram. So that's what we can do here. And I highly recommend if you don't have a newsletter, or if you have a newsletter that's not going out consistently because it's such a pain in the butt to get out, I would strongly recommend getting in and playing with Constant Contact. Go to MAREI, MAREI.org/constant contact. The link should be there on the screen for you, and you can set up for a free trial. There is no need for a credit card for the free trial. However, once you do want to really get in and do some things, they're going to ask for a credit card to set you up with a basic. You can start at a small number, and then as your list grows, you can increase. So you're like, if you've only got a minimal amount, start with the minimal amount, and then as your list grows, increase it. I think what we're paying here, we have about 20,000 contacts in our system, so we're around $200 a month. But when you're starting out, you're nowhere near that. So check it out. It's very affordable, and it's one of the best marketing tools that you would have. It lets you reach out to your customers on a regular basis. And if you're not really sure how to do all this, or you have an assistant that you want to do this, let me show you where you can get some great help and great ideas. If you go to YouTube, you can go to Constant Contact. This is their main page. This is their marketing video, but they have a lot of videos on what you can do with it. And then we have questions and answers from small businesses and big businesses. Getting started. What are the first steps to do different types of things that you want to do? And then they have full-length training. Well, these are short training tutorials. These are longer to teach you how to do this kind of the whole concept. These are like, how do you do one little bitty thing within Constant Contact? And there are quite a few emails if you go to the playlist. There's just a lot of tools and help here to get you started. So if marketing is something you're not familiar with, you don't know anything about, whether you use Constant Contact or not, I would highly recommend checking out their emails, because there's some great information on how to market using social media, how to use the internet, how to do it with email. They just happen to use Constant Contact as the vehicle to do it. So check that out. Get your free trial, marei.org/constant contact, and I will see you on the next meeting, and you're probably going to be getting an email from me shortly.